Hi everybody, welcome to the Leadership Roundtable, the show that builds capacity for startups and MSMEs. In this third installment, we have a man of many parts. Congressman Bimbo Daramola is a former member of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's a social entrepreneur, a man who deals with ideas. And today we'll be discussing with him how he has made a journey from being a businessman into politics, how he survived the murky waters of doing business, and how that can help young people who are trying to go into business today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, now where I would start with is that I'd like to ask you some of the challenges you had when you started, either from bid concepts or before bid concepts to Nigeria Green Card. What are the major challenges you went through, and how did you weather the storm?
Well, let me make it abundantly clear that every effort of man will require beyond the ordinary. You can't just, I'm not too sure there are too many things that you can succeed at without doing a little bit more than the regular or than the normal. Coming from a background of a banker, or a geologist who did well for himself as a corps member, I got retained 4 months into youth service, and then maybe 2 years after that, I decided to relocate from Kaduna to Lagos. I got a job with Savannah Bank at the time, and then after a couple of years in the end, about 3 or 4 after I got my MBA in University of Ilorin, I pulled out of the banking industry and I decided to give expression to my vision, to my drive, and all of that. So the environment will always be very inclement,
Right.
But what you would need to do is to ask yourself, how much of commitment do I have to my vision, how much of real, in quantum terms, empirical terms, do I have to be able to drive that vision or idea that I have? And I recall that at that time, one of the things that it's interesting to note that one of those things that used to be the challenge that we had at the time was as simple as a business station, a workstation.
Wow.
Yes. I remember my friend, God rest his soul, Rountable. Our breakthrough at the time was, God, please give us a workstation so that we can do our proposals and bind and type, print and bind, and then be able to push those things out. And then I remember that one of the first proposals I did was to Rothman's, the cigarette maker, the Rothman's of Palmol. Yes, it was called Rothman's of Palmol. There was some kind of activation plan that we had for them, and I'd always had flair for marketing anyway. So, and I remember that there was one half-caste woman in what's the name of that building now? Plot 999C. That money, used to be owned by Elastos Akimbola.
Wow.
Yes. And then I took that proposal, not knowing anybody and all of that. I went off to see the woman at the 10th floor, I think 10th or 12th floor. And then the woman looked at that activation plan and all of that. I said, this is going to work. And then we started pushing the bind. We got the job, but then again, we had to compete with the big brands, the agencies at the time. Also, I remember that I also did something for Gold Circle Condom.
Right.
This was the time where HIV just came out, like at the time. So, and I remember that when I did presentations to the guys at those family, it was called Family Health something. They used to market Gold Circle Condom then, and the account belonged to Chief Shubando's agency. I forgot his name now. I remember, And then when I did my presentation was to carry a mock coffin and have a mock procession of a young man who just died, having contracted AIDS. And they had never seen that kind of presentation. It was like an in-your-face kind of thing. Yeah. And so the guy stood up and said, "This is morbid campaign." And so everybody laughed, just laughed. I said, but isn't death morbid? The death of a young person, isn't that morbid? And then they clapped and I didn't get the transaction to do that activation like that, but I got something else to do. Now, what I'm saying is, you need a whole lot of will, and beyond that, you need a lot of knowledge. It must be a little bit, some versatility is required, to be able to pull through in whatever you want to do. And at any point in time, there will be environmental issues that will also, predispose you to success or failure. Such environmental issues could range from the big ones to the small ones. The big ones would be bad roads that everybody makes excuses for, power, this and that, But there are other environmental issues like how much of money am I? What's the margin of income? What's the margin of expectation from every project that you have, and how much of disposable income you want to give out of that to service, yourself and all that. So those are realities that you must deal with. But in days to come, in the days ahead, I believe there are other requirements that will be necessary for every would-be entrepreneur to connect to. And then from the project that we're doing right now, the project 6060, I have seen with a lot of surprise why a whole lot of enterprises have failed. It is not enough to have an idea. It is not enough to expect that there will be venture capitalists to bring money or put money on the table. Yeah. It's not enough to expect that there will be guardian angels who will put money on the table. And money, yes, the Bible says, money answereth all things. But he said, above all things, get understanding.
Right.
Yeah. So the understanding is key. And understanding is knowledge. You must acquire basic knowledge that surrounds what you want to do, and that's the only way to make that frog leap forward with whatever vision or idea that God is giving to you to push.
How do you handle disappointments? Because I hear a lot of people who do businesses and they say, this person doesn't want to help me, I have this idea, and up until recently when I keep mentioning this, a small startup, the Paystack, was bought for $200 million. A lot of people still would give excuses, I have this fantastic idea, nobody's buying. So how do you handle disappointments? People must have said no to you. I mean, how do you go about that? Because no, you don't know how to handle disappointments.
Yeah. A lot of people, one of the things that we also, that you need understanding from is the fact that you must go into the marketplace to realize that you have to be competitive. And in trying to be competitive, yes, where the structures are available, you lean on them. Right. But when the structures are not available, by all means you want to just lace your boots and get to go. I've met a lot of disappointment, particularly in the environment when you are doing things in the public sector. If you are doing things in the public sector, there are a number of dynamics that will come into it. It's not often that people wake up and find people keen into your vision. I remember that I read something about WhatsApp paid up for grabs by Yahoo at some point, and Yahoo was offering some maybe $2 million or something like that, and those guys refused to sell. So, basing it on the fact that they've seen it through, they understand the potential. They could be limited at this time. But the truth of the matter is that you must understand that your idea does not come to, it takes somebody who also can see beyond the natural, to see what your idea, the potentials of the idea. What one would ordinarily have said is that, oh, you are the one that's saying it. But somebody can also see the potentials of your idea. And I'm told about the story of the guy who started Lamborghini, who started because he was disappointed with I think Ferrari or something like that. Yeah. And eventually, when he achieved it, he was sold. What I'm saying is that when you must see disappointment as one of the things that it's one door that you must be prepared to go through. If you don't prepare for that door called the door of disappointment and prepare to walk through it, virtually all the ideas and the vision and all of your drive will end at the foot of the door.
Right.
So I believe very strongly that any prospective entrepreneurial small-scale business person, but the only way you can survive that is how much of knowledge that you have. How much of energy do you have? How much commitment do you have? How much of understanding do you have about what you want to do? You know, if you don't have all of those, I'm afraid every small hiccup, every small challenge that comes your way, you magnify, it becomes so big. But some of them will just require resilience. You understand? When we started Nigeria Banker, not too many, as usual, not too many people believe that it could work. Yes. But we started from an all-time zero of no partner, no card user, and we went all the way to getting 12,000 card users. And then later we got a state that gave us like 6,000 card users. You know, but we met a whole lot of people who were naysayers and can this thing work? Is this thing right for the environment and all of those things? Those fears may be, well, you know, you would accept them. But the fact that somebody tells you that, oh, the environment, it doesn't look like this environment is right for it, does not mean that you cannot simulate the environment to be right for it. So one of the things that you want to do is that, and I was talking to a group of people yesterday, if the market doesn't exist, you have to force the environment to create the market, depending on the kind of value you have put on your product or your service. Once you have redefined, and I don't find shy telling the story about Cowbell and Picnic.
Right.
Until Cowbell came, the corporate arrogance of Picnic was out of this world. And the guys who came with Cowbell had a different market penetration strategy. Apart from pricing, they also went into comfort and convenience. And so with that, they rebranded themselves, not in terms of packaging, but the brand rebranding or brand refocus, to be able to say, no, we will identify the part of the market that we will give the strongest appeal to on the basis of price or the affordability or the basis of convenience and comfort. Up until that time, you never could imagine that anybody would go to take milk from a sachet. And then number two, the corporate arrogance of Picnic was, oh, they're going to come to the store anyway to go and buy it. Or if they want to drink milk, let them come to the store. But these guys said, no, we'll take this product to them on the street. And so you're coming back from Victoria Island or Lekki or somewhat, or Highland, and you're coming to Yanopaja. And you know by the time you're getting home, every store or shop and bookie around the area will have closed. And this is somebody around Maryland shoving sachets of Cowbell in your face. You buy and keep. If you're not taking it that night, you take it the morning after on your way to work. So as much as possible, there's a lot, enterprise and entrepreneurship, how to survive it. You would need a whole lot of grit, a whole lot of will, and a whole lot of determination. That's the only way you can walk through that door. Otherwise, you have 1,001 excuses every day.
Government does one-offs, do short trainings, and then they hand over money to young people, and then they send them to face the monkey waters of doing business. Some people believe that that's why most of those businesses don't survive the first 6 months. Project 60-60-60 is going through what people call a healthier route, because now people know the value of the money that you're going to give them through their food camps and all that. Should government adopt this process instead of the one-offs?
Well, interestingly, one of the things we're trying to do is 60-60 is essentially to tweak with the entrepreneurship metrics in Nigeria, and obviously mirroring what we've seen in some other jurisdictions. I recall that in 2013 I had the privilege of traveling with President Jonathan to Trinidad and Tobago, and I saw the entrepreneurship metrics of TNT and Jamaica, in practice. It's actually called Caribbean Business Initiative, which ensures that people are, trained in a way that matrix delivers on predictability, to ensure that yes, you can quantify empirically the number of artisans, regardless of the shape, the form, the type. Also to ensure that the efforts you're putting into it in terms of resources and all of that also is measurable, or you can put that side by side. If you throw in ₦1 billion into raising new entrepreneurs, how many people come up with enough justifiable projects that, or ideas, vision, and things like that, that at the end of the day, what makes you an entrepreneur is when you grow a successful enterprise, not the idea that you have. The idea that you have must go past the point where you nurtured it, you have gone through thinking it through and having some form of structure to it and all of that. But you must be able to convert it into an enterprise where there's compelling need for somebody to say, give me what you have and I'm going to give you this for it, and that's how you become an entrepreneur. And then to ensure that it is just not a knee-jerk approach, it is sustainable and it endures. The idea behind SMEs is not to keep them permanently as SMEs. The ultimate vision is to ensure that they grow beyond SME and then become something else, and then not to permanently keep them as SMEs. The Nigerian matrix is basically, let's show money into the pockets of some of these people. And we've seen cases of people who have collected, we've seen a whole lot of people who have collected the money, probably well intended, and then they ended up in beer parlors, in pubs, in buying Givenchy shoes and Prada bags and all of those things, some Peruvian hair. And the truth of the matter is that there are compelling factors that could mitigate, that could prevent you from even succeeding on that show. It's not enough to say, if I give a fool $1 million, it's going to waste it. If I give a fool £1 million, it's going to waste it. But if I give a man who knows what he wants to do £500, he will turn it around. Look at what Bobby has made out of Provision Newspaper for the thing. He said because somebody gave him £10,000, Chief Alex Uduemi or somebody like that, And today, Provision has become a very successful brand, and yes, because of his resilience and all of that, Vision is very strong today and becomes one of the brands in that genre of journalism. So, the idea behind Project 6060, the bootcamp is just a small key to open a big door. Project 6060 is a 10-year plan. It's a decade-long thing that if we try to emphasize acquisition of knowledge, having skills is not enough, and knowledge is not just skill. Yeah. So there's financial knowledge, there's managerial knowledge, management, there is all kinds of knowledge. And so when somebody reduces development of enterprises to how much of startup capital, then you have missed the point. And I say that very guidedly because I had the chance to talk to the guys at SOM, and they said that by the records that they have, they only have 42,000 people, 42,000 small to medium scale enterprises. And compare that to the huge set of money that have been thrown into this pocket. There are people that what they need is not just money. What they need is mentorship. What they need is, so let me not deviate from the fact that the small key to Project 6060 is the bootcamp. And then sustainably we want to get into the idea of having 37 entrepreneurship laboratories. And that is not skill acquisition centers. And I talk to people in these places and they say, we also have a skill acquisition center. And then the point is that
Silicon Valley is not skill acquisition center.
So look at that. Look at that. So we feel very strongly and we're compelled to feel that if we have a system and entrepreneurship matrix that emphasizes predictable outcome, measurable outcome, and sustainability of those enterprises, that is where we say we're getting value for the cash injection that you're putting to people. So, we've done encounters with people. Somebody showed up at the pre-screening for a bootcamp and said, and then the assessors asked her, why do you want to go into fashion design and all of that? And she said, that's what my friends are doing. So, if I give that kind of a chart 200,000 naira, I can kiss the money goodbye. I won't see her tomorrow. I won't see the business. I won't see the money. So I think we can do a little bit more more. There's no, and then you cannot compel everybody to become entrepreneurs.
Okay, now I will definitely be tempted to ask you this, as someone who has been in government. China is successfully doing something that we are not doing yet, because government has a lot of input in driving startups and small businesses. As a matter of fact, I hear that India bequeathed to Nigeria the poverty capital of the world because it began massive investment in small businesses. What more can government do in terms of building enabling environments for these small businesses to thrive, apart from just giving money? Money is just one thing like it.
There are so many things that government can do. Tax holidays, consciously mentoring them. You can't overflow that. For instance, the China. Okay, let me not even go too far to China. Let me use the Igbo model.
Right.
An Igbo man, let's say Chinedu and sons. Of course, by the way, you never find Chinedu and daughters.
It's always sons.
Yes, Chinedu and sons comes to Lagos, and then brings 2 of his sons from Anambra. And they come and live with him. Some of them sleep inside those shops where you buy your phones, where you buy your shoes, where you buy. In the afternoon at 7 a.m., you already see them, they're already dusting the sun. They woke up from that place. Teaching them how to keep the time. Teaching them the attribute of personal discipline, of how to be conscious of time, to wake up early enough and get the shop set. And then begins to tell them how to negotiate. And those are critical elements. How to market. Have you not seen the fact that it looks like it's a recorded thing that if you go to this market and an Igbo man is selling stuff there, and you go to that market and an Igbo man is selling, that the way they pitch to you is always the same. And then they scale it a little bit up, and by saying that if you go to a shop where an Igbo man is selling phones, and you peep it and say, oh, I made a mistake, his phones you are selling. You say, customer, come.
I get that from another shop.
You say, what do you want to buy? The shoes I'm looking for now. But you're selling phones. You say, no, I get them from another shop. And then he goes ahead and gets all of those things. Yeah. You don't even have a chance to go to a shoe store anymore. And then he cuts the margin. And then he walks. And at the end of the day, and he keeps saying, my master, my master, yeah. My master. And so what do masters do? Masters teach. Masters teach you, and you cannot be a master until you have also served somebody. The master of today has served somebody at some point. And so you begin to raise, so adopt that model. They don't bring somebody from Enugu or Anambra or Ebonyi and bring him to Alaba market. I said, take money, go and start electronic business. Nobody. No Igbo man will do that. Some of them will wash the hundreds of their madam, of their Oga's wife. Not because they want them, not because they want to feel to demean them, but they want them to learn how to deal with insult situations when they meet their customers. So that you can build the value of tolerance. How do you respect a man who has insulted you, but you're conscious and you're keeping your eyes on the fact that I need to cut this transaction? These are some of the things that I need what's in his pocket. I need what's in the pocket. Or market. Or ego. You understand? Yeah. So, those are things that are missing. Those gaps, people may deride them. People may feel they are inconsequential. But if you feel they are inconsequential, go and look at the results you're posting today. If the results you're posting today, the Igbo entrepreneurship, the Igbo's model of raising entrepreneurs has been very successful. Very, very successful. How come we have not tried to also take bits and pieces of that? By their postings, they're doing so well. And by our own postings, all we're doing is throwing money at the situation, and it's not sustainable, it's not going to work. And like I told a friend of mine sometime, that there's a window of death. excuse me, for most businesses between 18 months and 24 months. You understand? It's not 6 months. It's between 18 months and 24 months. Any business that goes through those 18 to 24 months most likely will have chances of surviving as well. And and so, if you mean well and you want to do well by yourself and for yourself, at a point in time, church growth in Kaduna was very slow. It used to drive a bridge, now it drives, it flies a jet. So what does that tell? What does that comment to the younger generation? It simply tells them sometimes it's not a quick fix. It's not going to be an overnight success. Aliko Dangote, I'm told, borrowed 500 naira from somebody, his maternal grandmother or something like that. And people have this story, So more people should hear those stories. More people should tell those stories. So that people don't just see that when an Aliko say, I donate one, or $10 say, I'm buying my girls, 3 girls, Porsches or Ferraris or whatever it is, jolly well today, but I know that Femi or $10, I met him as a man who was managing a printing press. But that part of his story is not told so well today. I had gone with my friend Rountable, who was his classmate in Unilife, to go and meet him ever before he dreamt of selling diesel. So you need to get more people to connect the fact that there was a humble beginning. And what has changed and what happened in the course of time, or how that transformation happened, is the value that you want to sell. Sometimes we include patience, sometimes we include resilience, sometimes we include hard work, sometimes we include diligence, and all of those things. Those are some of the things that a sufficient diet of that should be going out to every would-be entrepreneur. And that's one of the things we're doing with Project 60-60-60. It's not going to be an overnight success. Some people hit it big. It's only in the casinos that you throw in something now, right now, and you get lucky and fortune smiles on you, or boxing or something like Joshua, who just threw a couple of punches and then got somebody down and got $29 million for it, whatever it is. But the truth of the matter is that most businesses don't work like that. Anthony Joshua is not an entrepreneur. He's a sporting phenomenon. Because what the 29 million naira didn't come from the punches. It came from adverts, from concessionaires, from all of those things. So there are value chains built around the punches, every punch that you chew. So I believe very strongly that can be done, and we hope that within the next 2-3 years we'll be able to get some of these big guys, and Aliko Dangote. Tony Elumelu is already doing his own stuff with TEF and all of those things. But yes, I have a little bit of view of that, but I expect that more people should be able to talk about the days of the little beginning. Absolutely. And that's where the values can be by. How much of value can be sustain? Aliko, who's already in Forbes now, how much of value is he going to talk about as a man who's already in Forbes? The values that we want to buy from Aliko's story will be where it wasn't anywhere, when Forbes was just like a dream to him.
Like you said, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Yeah. At what point do you stop to say, okay, so I think business is not working for now?
Yes.
So it's high time I stop wasting money and wasting efforts and all that. At what point do you get and then say, okay, look, let me go and try something else? Because certain people just keep hitting and nothing's coming out of it.
Again, you know that this is the way I say it. I do not think an entrepreneur should go. It's right if you go that route, but then for me, it's more like do what you enjoy doing. And see whether you can have layers of value from it. You can distill, people can distill value from it. The guys who invented telephone, Graham Bell didn't think that there was going to be a Samsung someday. He never imagined that there was going to be a Motorola or something. He just wanted to communicate. Zuckerberg never thought that Facebook was going to become something. He just wanted a situation where he can talk to his girlfriend on campus. And the Wright brothers, who eventually gave us their place, they have British Airways at the back of their mind. They didn't have the business side at the back of their minds. The guy who invented cameras and all of those things, or nickel, something from France, They have the business side at the back of their mind. They just wanted to add value. They just wanted to fill a void. There was a need to be filled, and they just decided that we could meet it. And once there's a need to meet, and you can meet that need, there's a business around it. So the first thing you want to keep your eyes on is that what's your heart telling you to do? How much of value that are you bringing onto the table, and that people are willing to listen and they're willing to exchange their prized asset for? That's where the business sense begins to start from. But you can also start by saying, yes, they need this somewhere, and then you start from doing one and this is going to be business. But for me, I want you to see how much of value addition you're bringing to the table first and foremost, before you begin to say, okay, what can we distill out of this? For as long as you have value, that's a baseline. For as long as you have a value, you can meet a need, you can meet a niche and be filled, you can be too sure that you can spin a business around it. And that's why that's why they say, any village that you get to where there's no Igbo man, just pack your bag and baggage, because nothing will grow.
Okay, two more questions before I let you go. The first is, you said something very important, and for most successful endeavors, it started out as a hobby.
Yes, it could be a hobby, it could be passion, it could be,
Now, what are the things that you should do when you identify? Okay, for instance, you can sing. Now we know that show business is big business.
Oh, absolutely.
So, what are the things that you can do to transition that passion into a money-making venture?
Fantastic. Somebody who used to anchor celebrations told me that so many years ago, Burna Boy practically was begging them, let me sing for free. And today,
you pay up money.
So that's it. Burna Boy was not singing. Burna Boy didn't have his eyes on Grammy.
Right.
He just wanted to perform because he just wanted to sing. And then people began to say, there's something, the song is right, the song is right. And then because they saw the song is right, what people started saying, Shina Peters had been singing before Ijo Shina. Yes. How many people listen to it? So that's the way it starts. You want to be too sure that once you have something, don't keep it to yourself for too long. Go out and say, I have this to offer. Or start it. In the process of meeting XYZ, the thing could get fine-tuned. When we shot Olusegun Obasanjo's documentary, from prison to presidency, and I still say very humbly speaking, that there's no documentary like that about any president in this country today.
No.
So, I didn't have my eyes on, what's going to become of me after shooting this documentary or becoming the president's biographer. I just wanted to do something like long walk to freedom, like for Nelson Mandela. I wanted something like that here. And then we started, and then it began. In fact, my friend wanted us to have a drama. It was a drama that a friend said we should come. I said, no. A documentary would do it. And then we started. And that's it. Nigeria Green Card, same thing. I wanted a situation where my card would be in the pocket of 1 million young people in this country. I didn't grow to the mass say 1 million people buying it. No. I wanted people to say, this is giving me comfort and convenience. I'm adding value by providing this into an environment where so many people are parents are losing jobs, the ones that are keeping the jobs at the expense of pay cuts and all of those things. I wanted a situation where people can go from 0-0 configuration of eating 0-0-1 to 1-1-1 or something like that. I wanted people to be able to still keep their lifestyle while they go to school or live their lives and all those things. So let that value addition be there, and let the option of whether you pay for it, at what cost and all of that, let it be between me and the guy who believes that there's value in my product. So as much as possible, it would work better for you if you have your vision, your passion, and all of those things, and you stick on to it. And then that will, in fact, there are times that money doesn't come out of it, but in fact, I've gone to pray. Growing up, when I walked out of my job as a banker, for those days, I get so happy when I hear people say, fantastic presentation. That's what I want to hear. The secondly to say, okay, where do we go? How do we move this product forward? The first thing first is that people feel that, so that's true. I will tell you, we can actually do this. This is actually not there. This is actually not available. Thanks for providing this before the business person begins to come.
Yeah, finally, in Nigeria, 60-60-60 starts in 2020.
Yes.
And it's for the next 10 years,
Yes.
2030. This journey is a journey where the Nigerian state, as it were, could tap into. Because these ecosystems that you want to set up, 7 of them in all the states and the FCT, could be another Silicon Valley. And we know what has come out of Silicon Valley, top dollar. What message do you have for the Nigerian government in terms of key into this?
Well, that's a very good question, and again, that's one of the things that you have to go through sometimes. People feel that, people are very territorial, they want to keep their territory, they don't open up to people, they don't give you a chance, and all of those things. My approach, my appeal to them, and of course at this point I must say thank you to Minister Sunday Dari, who really did the project, he supported the project, a little bit of money. And now I'm too sure that he now knows that we know what we're saying, you understand? And I hope that, and I also want to say thank you to the Permanent Secretary Minister of Labour and Productivity for that comment on our project. And raw materials, even though you did not deliver at the end of the day, well, it's okay. I just want people to open up more. 39.4 million people unemployed people can't be right. It was 20.4 million people in 2018-2019. By 2020, this thing in the middle is around 34.9 million. And I'm too sure the way we're going, the farmers are getting sacked now. So many, the insecurity situation, and then COVID and all of those things. With the COVID alone, this is going to hit 50 million. Where do we go from there? So I believe that my appeal to government is please give us a chance. Listen to this. I've seen it work in TNT and Jamaica. The Caribbean Basin Initiative is 35 years old today. How old is the Nigerian entrepreneurship matrix? Nobody can tell. How many people have been raised? How can we make the entrepreneurship development matrix in Nigeria predictable, sustainable, and then have measurable outcomes? Those are the questions that we need to ask. We can continue to throw all of this, and then resources are getting thinner by the day. We're spreading ourselves thin. 8 agencies and ministries are shoving money into people's pockets. Well intentioned, but the truth of the matter is that we must use our tongue to count our teeth. And I believe very strongly, nobody knows it all. Not one person knows it all. But if we're going to turn around this country, we will have to work together, both the guys from outside and the guys from inside, and realizing the fact that we just have to solve this problem. If we don't solve this problem, it's going to take us down and take our country down.
Thank you very much, Congressman Bimbo Daramola, for this. We hope to have you back very soon. That's the episode. We'll see you some other time. Thank you.